Yuan good day. Guwambanga, welcome to Fish River in Wiradjuri. That translates to Guwang Billa, or the original name for it was Wambawoin, what meant windy river. So the interesting place about this is originally the Seventh-day Adventists used to baptise here. Also George Evans, the first explorer here, the first Wiradjuri people he actually found was here. And also the man what got land, approximately about 980 acres was roughly here. He purchased, he was a bit frowned upon in the area because both his parents were originally convicts, but he was lucky he got a fairly good start for a convict, as he had befriended Governor Macquarie's son and other things. And Governor Macquarie was fairly keen on giving convicts a start in life, and other things. Now his wife was believed to be the first white woman to this area, but if we take a look at Mitchell's diary, he recorded seeing a woman who was almost completely white here with Aboriginal people. Now there's a couple of accounts we could take for that. One is she had a rare case of albinoism, but as he did put almost white, highly unlikely. Another account was she could have come in from Western Victoria. If we take it, there are a couple rare accounts there of different clan groups, but again highly unlikely. So if we take an account of the convict era, where there was, back in Sydney at that time, convicts trying to escape, and it was rarely happened, as they felt during that time if they did escape that they were heading towards China or India and they would be free. Now these cases were rarely successful, and generally if they caught, they got often sent to places like Tasmania. And we look at the terrible brutal history of Sarah Island, they'd be hung, often they would starve to death, dehydration, speared by other Aboriginal tribes, particularly if they felt they broke tribal law and things. So you have to be very careful at those type of things. But then we look at, the Aussie slang word Buckley's a nun. We look at Buckley's, when they thought he'd come back from the past. He spent over 30 years with the Aboriginal tribes. It could have, and I see this as the most likely case, but there is other scenarios, of course, as well. May have been the child of a possible escaped convict. But the truth is, we'll most likely and most definitely 99.9% chance never know the definite answer to that. So here we are. It's a beautiful river here. Apparently once upon a time it was full of fish. That's how it got its name, Fish River. To the Germans apparently built the dams around Oberon area and that, and the fish then slowed down. Yuan good day. So I've taken a very long walk to a place where I'd have to stay quiet for now about. An old elder, and probably the remaining most respected elder in Bathurst, said that she doesn't reckon I found this place found me, as it, a lot of people have been looking for it and haven't been successful. And I've kept it on my hat for over 4 years, maybe 5 years, to where it is. But I am concerned with both a lot of weekenders coming closer and closer to this place, and a lot of Aboriginal people looking for 1 minute of fame, who'd be interested to sort of exploit it for the wrong reasons, for Wallen money and 1 minute of fame. So a lot of people just look like an old rock, but it's the Billarong story that shows the love for its mother and child, what I've spoke about before. And I'll just change this around so you can see it. Yes, as I was saying, at the time being, it'll have to be kept respected. Ginjabara kept quiet where it is. Whether the Environment Minister wants to keep it completely quiet, but some clause put on it, or over up to probably, I don't know, but be a great sadness if it does get destroyed or exploited for the wrong reasons. Glee, would you? See you, mate. The end of a run, good day. Often you would wonder what would Aboriginal people do when out on a place like this, rocks. Generally, they didn't live too far from the river, at least Wiradjuri people, but out in the desert they did. However, often there would be something like this around. Now, to us it looks a bit dirty, like, oh, wouldn't want to drink it, and not much water in it. But often, very rarely, they'd go dry. I'll show you. See how far it went on the stick, covering the whole stick. All the way it goes in, covering my whole hand. Gulling water. So that's often a trick they would have in places like this. They would look for these sort of things, and very rarely they would ever go dry on the country on rock areas like this.